Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending upon when you're watching this. Welcome to your Thursday Drives with Lori and Kayleen. We are off. It's a little cloudy here today. I was surprised. It's like sunny over there. It's sunny in
One thing I noticed too.
What we're doing today is
it's flipped. So if we point over here, it's here on your screen.
Oh, because we're doing the camera this way. So it's a little trick for you guys. But we're gonna do a full vlog tour today of Monument. So a lot of you guys have watched our old Monument videos, which I'm sure are fabulous. But we're gonna update it today and do a tour of Monument. So I have some facts. So we're gonna drive to our first house, our first area, and kind of give you details of that area. So we have 5 different areas to show you today in Monument.
And different types and calibers of homes.
Yes, I have different facts that I will quiz you on for Monument. So our first fact on the way to our first house area is...
Okay. You're quizzing me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you know what the population of Monument is?
If you had so bad.
If you had to guess the population of Monument, so if you think of Colorado Springs,
3,000, 4,000 people. I don't know. I don't even know.
Think of all these different areas. You think of Forest Lakes, all those different areas. It goes all the way up north to Woodmoor.
10,000.
Okay, you're closer. So, and currently in 2021, it was 10,859. 2024, it grew to 13,647, and then which is
in what year? Did it grow to that?
Right now,
2023.
These are current stats, ladies and gentlemen, and a 7.29% growth rate annually currently. Monument is growing a lot because it's like
there are certain people that only want Monument when they come. It is more, and that's why I said 5,000. My hometown was about 5,000, and it feels like that.
Really?
But then when you really think about how big that area is that you said, I could see that.
It's just a lot of houses,
and the size of the high schools.
Yeah, there's like 2 big high schools.
4 and 5A. Yeah. So I guess 10,000 would be better.
So we're at 13. So we're coming up to the lake, which I wish it was a little bit sunnier out today, but it is what it is. It's actually frozen over, but in the summertime, you can, part of the HOA in this back community, not some parts of that front community are not included in that. You get access to this lake, which you could paddleboard on and, do water recreational activities. And fish. However, you have to be part of this back part and pay the HOA. I think it's like $400 annually.
For this part?
Mm-hmm.
And now if you live in the front part, you can buy access into here. And don't quote me on it.
I don't think you can.
Yeah. One of our clients who bought in here, who I went to lunch with the other day, told me that, because they aren't even in it.
Yeah, they're not.
And she said it was kind of pricey, like 1,000 or more for the year.
So it's more.
Mm-hmm. So if you live by here and you are not in the HOA, you can still kind of buy into the Metro District and have access to that lake. Like, you can, of course, hang out at the park and everything, but if you want to actually fish, and I asked her, I said, do they actually monitor that? And she said, yep, they do. So if you want to go fishing...
What, do you have to wear like a bracelet or something? Or what do they...
Probably some sort of card or something.
Interesting.
But if you want to fish there or utilize the water, like paddleboarding, you do have to be part of that.
Yeah.
HOA or Metro District.
Yeah. So we're in Forest Lakes, and so we just drove past like an existing section. These lots to, well, my right, your left, will be more custom lots. And so these are, there's only a few left.
They're like estate lots. So they're bigger.
Yes, exactly. Land. That's a good word. But like there's a house on top of that hill that has to be like 7,000 square feet. It's probably $3 million. But
an amazing view.
Amazing views of the city. So these are more of those custom build homes. You buy the land and you get a builder, and you build with a custom builder. And then we're taking you to the back part that I feel like people don't go back this far. We've had 3 claims.
Or if they've seen Forest Lakes before, like, I've been there a couple years ago.
Going.
Nope, there's a new area back here. And this is the kind of journey's end.
Oh, it's raining. It's like snowy raining. You get it all today.
This is the very end of Forest Lakes, so it wraps around this mountain. And I will say, because I've been narrowing in on this Monument area for a current client of ours, and
is that what
there's some incredible
views that she liked?
No, it's kind of over by where we'll end today, over in Woodmoor.
Oh.
These homes, I did send this one up here. It has incredible views, like open space behind, a bigger yard. Space. And there's even some brand new builds. They're already in production, so they're inventory homes. but some really good deals, $850s.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And
for
you
here.
back up to the base of the mountain, so it's private. This is the house I sent. So on your guys' right, coming up, on our left up here, this is the house. It's at $925, but the space and the yard behind is actually really big. It's very private. I thought it checked a lot of boxes that particular client wanted, because they needed 2 bedrooms on a main, another 2 bedrooms down below, separate living area, almost like a multi-generational.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to go over the bridge?
Or
Sure.
Just go a little over. We can show you with the next filing.
So this is kind of like where the filing ended, and then what was it? Probably 2 years ago, 18 months ago,
they
built this bridge, and they've continued homes.
This
is called what?
7, I think.
Is this West something?
I don't know. It's Forest Lakes.
Forest Lakes. West Valley.
West Valley models. There you go.
And
you're right.
So this mountain that you're looking at right in front of us, the homes only go like 1 loop around it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go around the loop?
No, we can get out and kind of walk and show them maybe some of this area around here if you want to.
Whenever I bring people here to see, they're like, oh yeah, this is pretty. And then it's like, once they see this back here, this red dirt, the mountain base.
Yeah.
It is like, I'm going to use the word majestic.
Oh, okay. Like I'm trying to look at what you guys are seeing, like picture blue skies and sunny, like it's kind of looks like it's going to snow or rain.
At the base of the mountains.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I think our clients just live down here on that Timber Trek way, a few of them.
We have a couple of them right here.
And a couple of them are looking at one of these lots around the corner. So we're going to get out and show you this Forest Lakes area and tell you a little bit about these houses and what you get in this area. I wanted to show you some of the homes. I know you can kind of see it from our camera, but more of like a direct view of some of these homes in the West Valley. So we are currently, like we noted, in Forest Lakes. A lot of these homes are going to be, you have a 2-story, so you can see a new construction home, and you have existing homes here. A lot of them are raised ranches in this area just due to the nature of the build, or you're going to have a raised ranch. So I don't know if Kayleen can show you where you're going to have a walkout. So the way that they're built on this hillside, if they're building into that hill, you can have a full walkout basement, which brings a lot of natural light into your homes as you are building this home out. So a lot of people do elect to have a raised ranch. These homes are going to average about 32 to 36 square feet, depending upon the size and model of a home you build. There's
32 or 36?
32 to 3,600. Thousand. No, 3,200 to 3,600 square feet.
Or 3,000 to 3,600.
Somewhere in there. A lot of these are going to be built in 2021 or beyond. Like as you can see, one's currently being built. That HOA is $480 annually, and taxes on, let's say, in a $950,000 build are going to be around $6,000, as you can see. And then you can see this red dirt that Kayleen talked about as well. It's kind of misting here today, but I wanted to show you what that looks like. I know it's kind of unique here in that area, but you can see those open spaces behind, and a lot of clients do love this area just because of it presents that natural Colorado lifestyle to me, and you don't have people living directly on top of you. So it's raining even more. This is Colorado weather, but right ahead of us is blue sky, so we don't know what we're going to run into. But that was Forest Lakes, and so we're leaving Forest Lakes. This is kind of where we started the video to begin with, and we're going to go across I-25, and we're going to show you.
Our camera has water spots on it. Sorry.
Sorry about that. We'll clean it up at the next stop. Hopefully it stops raining. But we're going to Sanctuary Pointe, which is just across here. We're probably about.
Is that like Jackson Creek Parkway?
Yeah.
Kinda?
Yep. In that little area.
Okay.
So we're gonna take it. So here's my next fact for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
What do you think the mean household income of families, so not just average, but of families here in Monument is?
Mean. It's not median. Mean. 86,000.
148,000. Yeah. Well, there's houses here. all right.
I mean, there are very high-end homes.
All right, I'll give away my last fact. I only have 3 facts.
That's crazy.
I know. So, but guess what is the average Monument home price here? In Monument, all of Monument.
Average?
Mm-hmm. Average. When you look at homes here, what's the average?
$820,000.
$709,000, which is interesting.
I'm
because
actually surprised because
El Paso is $443,000. So it's a
all,
lot more.
Like 35% maybe.
Typically, this is typically, there's little pockets where you talk about in, Broadmoor Bluffs and the Broadmoor and Old North End. But typically, the more north you go in Colorado Springs, the more expensive home pricing gets. Let's kind of take that as a general rule. Obviously, there's going to be differences, but
So we just had a client focused in on North Colorado Springs to Monument. No, really Glen Eagle to Monument. Her budget, she wanted to stay around $500,000, but single family. She actually was even open to some like townhomes, but they had to have a yard space.
Yeah.
And it took 3-4 months of watching, and she had to give and take a little. 500s are really hard in Monument to me.
Although what one client who did a new build, it wasn't going to be like in that Forest Lakes area, but just north of here.
It was like 480, 500.
It was a new build. I mean, it's
and I shopped there with her. It's just like it's definitely like, I wouldn't even call it entry level. It's very cookie cuttery.
Yeah.
Not like, I think people have this vision of Monument and it's like picturesque, forest, Colorado, and you kind of get that over there, but it's definitely more cookie cuttery.
Yeah.
But
what you're going to see today is, the thing about Monument is there's so many different types of neighborhoods in here. I feel like you have that Forest Lakes area. Now we're going to show you one. It's more like, I guess, a traditional neighborhood. Then
Forest
you're
Lakes
going to have
newer homes.
Yes.
And we have Homestead Place, Sanctuary Pointe. Like, there are some new
and you get
builds
some homes with land, but it's like more mitigated. Like it kind of looks more in the open. And then you get Woodmoor, older. Like, it's just so you're going to see a lot of different style homes today.
Some in the forest, some out in the field.
When you guys reach out to us, it's like Monument. There's a lot of different styles of living here.
So one thing when Lori mapped this out, what I want to point out. So we are on Baptist Road. To the right of us, or left on your screen, is like north end of Colorado Springs. It's actually Academy School District 20. Baptist separates it from District 49 or 38. Lewis Palmer School District. But there really is like kind of 2 shopping areas. So off of Baptist here, you have like your King Soopers. They have, Walgreens, McDonald's, banks, post office, Starbucks, and then you kind of go down the road. You have a Home Depot, and I think there's a Kohl's, a restaurant, and then there's also, in our old Monument video, I think we go through the old town of Monument, and that's more like a couple bakeries and
farmers
individually
market there
owned
in the summer, right?
Areas.
That little area. They
But
have
this
a parade.
is like where you would grocery shop. There is a Safeway.
Yeah.
One more up, but this is like your local spots that you would be utilizing,
checking out and stuff. So we're only about 1.2 miles. I think you turn at this light. Is it? No, next one. You're right. Next one. So, but as you can see, this is Jackson Creek. We're supposed to be looking at Promontory Point, and we're going to show you some homes in this area and get out and show you what they look like. There's a couple other areas in Monument that kind of resemble this to me. Some of them are new build. But they're built like in this section. So my husband's a native to Colorado. He did go away for Ohio for a little bit, but when he grew up, he always describes Monument as like a gas station town, which is kind of funny. Like, you just stopped and got gas and got McDonald's when he had 4 brothers and they did soccer. Yeah, and like that was all it was. And now it's just exploded by the recent growth, which is growing at what % per year? Annual rate, Kayleen.
Oh, is this a fact?
I already told you the fact.
Well, you told me, didn't it go up like 0.3% maybe?
No, it's 7.29%. I'll quiz you again later.
I'm way off.
I know.
Well, you said it went from like 10,800 people to
good.
like 13,000.
See, she was kind of listening to me.
So I was trying to do quick math in my head. And that's not my strong suit, guys. So this on a map, so directly north of Baptist, these older homes, I would say like 700,000-800,000. This is kind of Jackson Creek Parkway or Promontory Point. And then it, if you see a little group of new builds, there's a new build section called Home Place Ranch.
We have a separate driving tour coming out. It's probably already posted at this point.
And then Home Place Ranch kind of meanders directly into Sanctuary Pointe, and then there's like Sanctuary Point to like King's Deer, and very, very different homes in all of those areas.
Yeah. Even the area that over by
I was supposed to.
No, I think you're fine up here. Turn right up here. By like that Fox Run Park. That's a completely different area too. Like a little bit more existing than Sanctuary. Kind of the same vibe.
Right. And look at this house in front of us. There's actually an RV garage.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of Jackson Creek Parkway.
So we're gonna get out and show you these homes here in Promontory Point. So you can see we've had some snow recently. In some of these homes, again, you have that snow coming in, so it does snow here.
You can see the mountains.
I know. I was like, these homes have great views.
Foggy, dewy. So, little facts. There is a home around here. It is listed anywhere between like $750,000, $850,000. These homes were built around the year 2013. So you're looking at homes maybe 10 years old. Homes are a little bit larger, even though they look like ranch style homes or, even some 2 stories. They are about 3,700 square feet on average. Taxes annually are about $3,900. That's for a $750,000 home. If you will notice though, like on the road, Lori, look at the snow.
What am I looking at?
Look at the snow.
Yeah.
I will say Monument tends to get a little bit more Colorado extreme weather. But if you will see, it looks like they got quite a bit of snow probably a couple days ago, but it does still melt off.
But this is the difference between this home that faces, backyards do not face the mountains.
Yeah, look at their front yard.
And there's no snow. And then this, they have great mountain views, but they still have snow that sits in their yard. My house is exactly like this. Mine will be like beach on one side and...
I chose the view, but I know I have to deal with some snow in my front yard.
Yeah, so great place. You're probably looking at an existing home here, 2000 and like a 10-year-old home, I would say.
I do want to say HOA.
Yeah.
$275 annually.
And it only includes like trash or something.
Yep, it only includes trash, but it does help with like covenant enforcement.
So our driving tour today, it's raining today, so it's following us, so it's gonna be what it is. So you get a rainy full tour of Monument, so you know what it's like when it's raining. So
it's February 6th when we're filming this.
Yeah.
Interesting. And there's still blue skies to the south.
I know. It'll probably clear up in a minute, but
yeah.
It is what it is. But what was I say? Oh, what's interesting is, so we talk about all these HOAs in this area, so they're not a ton, especially in these areas. So we say $480 annually for that other one, $275. Sanctuary Pointe, it's $400 annually as well. $600 annually is for another one. And then the last one is like Woodmoor. So their annual HOAs are not extremely expensive, but
some
they
include
don't
trash, some don't.
Yeah, but they don't really include a pool. Even this Home Place one, they're not going to put it. It's going to be a fitness center, and I asked her why, because a lot of our other ones, you think of Wolf Ranch, Cordero, Flying Horse, like all the ones in Colorado Springs do, and they just said they don't have a long enough season, which is, I know it's a little bit colder in Monument, but not a ton, I would say. Especially, I don't know. I guess maybe that 5-10 degrees makes. Maybe 5 degrees?
I don't know.
I'll have to look up that stat.
They do have a nice YMCA up here, and there's a pool in there.
But indoor.
Indoor.
Right?
And I would say...
Woodmoor have an outdoor or indoor?
I thought it was outdoor.
I'll have to look that up too.
I think Woodmoor is outdoor.
But
I'm
it's
99% sure.
That I can think of that has then a pool up here in Monument.
So now from Jackson, how I said that it kind of blends in. We went from Jackson Creek Parkway directly to Sanctuary Pointe.
Yeah.
I know I'm in Sanctuary Pointe because, like, just the aesthetic, the almost industrial, mountain modern looking, like, light poles, the split rail fencing. You have tall pine trees, but they're definitely manicured pine trees. So walking, not just a walking trail. There are some walking trails like crushed granite, but there's also paved walking trails, which I like.
Yeah. So I'd say home prices in here vary. Like, I feel like
they
what did we get the client in September? That was our lowest price home. In the six, was it upper six? Right, it's got to be upper six.
Yep.
So that was a really good deal.
That was a really good buy.
I feel like there's a couple. Yeah, that was a good buy. And then, but you can go all the way up to like 1.8, almost 2 million for some of these builds.
There's a 1.6 on the market right now with Saddle Tree.
Yeah.
Incredible views. But you are in a neighborhood setting. Mm-hmm. So do you want to spend 1.6 million with a neighborhood setting? But if you...
It's one of my favorite neighborhoods, though.
It is.
I love it. Like, every time I show a house here, I'm like... I always do this with my husband. I'm always like, hey, we're going to live here. And he's like, he's sweet. He's like, I'll live wherever you live. I'm like, good answer. But it's like, I kind of go back and forth. I walk into some of these homes. And if you get a home that's situated the right way and has, like, the one I showed in November, I was like, this home, it didn't have a huge yard either because I don't want a huge yard. You know, but I want it situated where I feel like I have privacy, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, but like these homes right here, I don't know if
You're not wowed?
I'm not wowed. I mean, they're beautiful homes. Don't get me wrong.
I've showed a couple.
But this one, like, they sit back by that forest. I know. Their backyards really do have privacy. I think that's the one I showed. That's the one I showed. It had that modern feel, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I will say the benefit of somewhere like this, the builders are really top notch.
Yeah, you get a good build.
You get a good build. You get really good floor plans. Look at the size of that yard, Lori.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean...
But you can look at all the snow in this area, too, and you do get more snow here because it was raining and it just transitioned to snow.
And look at the elevations. Like, you want an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive vehicle here.
This makes me want to go home and have grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Ooh.
Sounds delicious.
I am on
a
carb-free diet.
Well, no.
I'll eat the cheese. My husband, all right, speaking of food, he was watching a TikTok recipe thing, and you take cheese and you like crisp it up on your pan, and then you roll a pickle in it.
Oh.
It was
I feel about that.
It was amazing.
You like pickles, though.
Well, I love... Oh, yeah.
My daughter loves pickles.
I loved it. All right, I'm turning back because our house...
Okay, turn back. We're going to get out and show you some of these homes. We'll talk more about pickles later. I was at Costco yesterday because I had to go get some things, and I got a cart full of food. I did get some meats and stuff like that. Guess how much my bill was?
$500?
Yeah, $580. And I was like, geez. So we posted on our group for our cost of living video.
Yeah.
I had to finish that one. But we posted on there how much they spend for groceries. One person posted, and they had two little kids because I know them.
Family of four,
like a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old, and the two, mom and dad, that they spent $600 a month on groceries. And I was like, how do you, I mean, I know there's coupon clippers out there. If that's you, drop it below. Because I would, like, in my dream world, I would do that, but I just don't. But $600
you have two
a month.
I have growing boys.
I know, but even then, I don't think I could do it.
know.
I was like, that's $1.50. I broke it down because I had to know. It's $1.50 per meal.
Per person?
Per person.
That's crazy.
You buy a pound of hamburger and it's like $8. So
yeah,
I'd be like,
that's very cheap.
Here's your little cup of hamburger for dinner tonight, kids. And that's all they would get. And croutons. I always get my kid. When we have no food, I'm like, just go get the croutons.
Instead of buying more chips, you eat a crouton.
Croutons have to be gone before I buy more chips. All right, let's get out and show you this one.
Sorry about that. Beautiful Colorado, Lori.
I know. I was just thinking, like, I can't tell if I should have my sunglasses on because it's so bright with that I don't know, whatever's happening right now. And we're like,
reflective
I'm like,
light.
Kayleen, do you have a rain jacket or an umbrella in your car? She's like, no. I'm like, do you have a winter
It
coat?
wasn't snowing at all at my house.
No, it was like sunny this morning, and now it went to rain, and now it's snowing, and I feel like I need a yellow rain jacket, like Paddington Bear or something. But so welcome to Sanctuary Pointe. I think it's interesting because homes in here, I pulled them up, and a home was like $885,000, 4-bed or 5-bed, 4-bath, 3,800 square feet. Again, HOA is $400 annually. And then I went to the home like next door to it that was closest on the market, and you're talking a $1.4 million build.
So a big swing.
So a big swing in this neighborhood. You go anywhere from, like I said, you can find them in the higher 6s. It doesn't happen very often.
Look behind you, the tree line. There's lots of trees up here.
Lots of trees, but very well mitigated. You'll see the fencing. You have to have that split rail fencing. You can put the chicken wire on it. A very heavy HOA and what you can and can't do. You're not going to be able to put outbuildings here, but I wish you could see straight ahead. Like it's like you're looking into the bluffs, and so you'll see a lot of people out here usually walking their dogs, and it's just windy. Living that lifestyle out here in Sanctuary Pointe. It actually is one of my favorite neighborhoods here in Colorado. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. I love the aesthetics of this neighborhood. I told Kayleen to turn her butt warmers on because it's getting a little chilly out here. So
36 degrees.
But it was beautiful. It wasn't beautiful yesterday.
It was beautiful.
It was morning. I know. I was not. We always talk about being prepared for layers, and we don't. We
failed.
Are failing. I don't have anything with me, so it's like, well, it is what it is. We're gonna.
But look,
push through
that
these
like
elements.
Straight ahead, guys. There's blue skies.
I know. I think it could be
know
blue
there's
skies.
hope today.
It'll probably pass.
We're getting ready to turn.
So we're on our way to show you an area that with land I talked about. So we've seen that Forest Lakes. We have seen that Jackson Creek area, Promontory Point. We've seen Sanctuary Pointe, which is a very different pocket of neighborhood build. And now I want to show you some more homes with a little bit more land that obviously offer this here in Hilltop. And there's another area called King's Deer, that has kind of a similar layout as well.
And I sent a house to one of our clients yesterday, 2.5 acres. Arrowwood.
I was going to tell you that agent somehow I was talking to her for some reason, and she said they did an appraisal, and so it's I think it's priced below appraised value.
That seems when I saw how much land, I was like,
I know. So we'll see. So we're still about 3 miles out. Do you know I took my Christmas tree down yesterday? It is February. My goal every year is before Valentine's Day is to take my Christmas tree down.
But you like it up though.
The reason my kids, so when we left my house, my kids like, Mom, when are you going to be home? They always want to know when I'm going to be home because then they bring their friends home, but they don't like to bring them home for lunch if I'm there because they like to
make it awkward.
They like to have their own time, which I get. That's fine. But I don't know sometimes if I'm going to be home or not because I'm a real estate agent. So I'm like, I don't really like to tell them.
She spies, and I do the same thing now that I have one.
The doorbell. I'm
Your
like,
ring doorbell.
Who
are you bringing home? The one time there was a rando girl.
I know. But my kid came home and I took my Christmas tree, and I have a 12-foot Christmas tree, so I had to get out this big ladder. So I have this big ladder, and my lights don't work on the tree, and I was like, I'm almost have to buy a new tree, but I'm trying to hold out. So I took the whole tree and I put the whole tree down, and I have like flock all over me. But I have to put on a different shirt because last time I did my flock Christmas tree, I ruined one of my shirts because I couldn't get all the flock off me. So I put on like this like white elephant t-shirt I got. So my son comes home, I have like white flock all over me, and he was like, Mom, look at your shirt you're wearing. And I was wearing it was a white elephant gift I got for my sister-in-law at Christmas, and it says I love box wine, and I was like tie-dyed. It was, I mean, she's watching this, it's one of the ugliest shirts, she knows it too, but she's like, you're wearing an I love box wine shirt, and he brought home like these 2 cute girls and like a couple friends, and he was like super embarrassed by his mom. But my Christmas tree is down.
And you were flocked.
And I was flocked, but my Christmas tree is down. So successful day.
When you and I first started working, that was like one of our first connections, because Lori's always been a DIYer.
I do. I like DIY
and
projects.
She came home and she was like, I flocked my Christmas tree. I was like, what is flocking? And then so we looked, and long story short, I was like, I'm going to flock it. Lori flocked her tree. It is such a mess.
Stories. It is.
I like sprayed, I think it was like wall texture on it, and after like 2 years of that tree, I was like, it's going in the trash because it makes such a mess.
Mine's a pre-flocked tree, but it's still always, when you take it down, it's because my lights don't work, so I was trying to keep it together so that way, because last year I had to cut them all out, it was a disaster, but I do love my Christmas tree, but it looks so sad in my house now. Especially like this, I want to go eat grilled cheese and tomato soup and sit by my Christmas tree. It doesn't have the ornaments on it; just has like the lights.
But if you live up here in Monument, you have that aesthetic year-round.
That's true.
Maybe you are destined to live in Monument.
Maybe I am.
You could have Christmas trees year-round.
All my trees have lights on it.
I mean, look at the setting, though.
Yeah.
It is. You feel
our
like very
atmosphere.
Colorado. So are we going to King's Deer? I think we're going to King's Deer.
I think we're a
right
little
across,
area. Maybe it's close.
like that front part of King's Deer. So King's Deer is interesting. The front part, which
the golf course.
might be where it's a golf course, but the front part does have like trees, and then like the back part. And I'm just talking from the entrance, front and back. The more north end is more like open rolling hills.
See, I think we're not going to King's Deer. We're almost there.
Yeah, right across the Highway 105 on roller coaster. Then is King's Deer.
All right.
I bet we go through.
Oh
this
yeah,
line.
I can see the green starting to pop into our thing.
We're in the tree
right.
area part of King's Deer, but it is interesting because they're on acreages.
Yeah.
And they have septic systems because you're on acreage. It is a whole different, but if you want space, land, King's Deer's a good option, though I will say you can't just park your RV.
No, we've had that
out there. Let's tell them about what we learned about HOAs.
I totally. We had a women's group dinner or happy hour yesterday, so we have a women's group. We have a group called Colorado Springs What's Going On. It has like 42,000 members, and we just do stuff with that. And then we have a women's group, so we just started doing like happy hour with our clients.
Like a networking.
And a networking type thing. And some of the ladies from the group joined, so we do it at Red Leg Brewery, which is the brewery on the west side, at 5:30 on Tuesday. So if you come here and you don't know anyone, make sure you join. We help you buy and sell a house, and then we can join our women's group and get to know ladies all throughout the community. But I told I'm such a nerdy real estate agent. I told like 3 people like that fact, like they would think it's like super interesting or something.
It is interesting.
I know. Okay, go
so
ahead.
Here's the deal. There was a law passed in Colorado, August of 2022, and it said an HOA can only govern what they own. So logistically, what that means is that when you live in an HOA, they can govern and set the rules for like what you can and cannot park in your driveway. But as far as the street
that the city owns,
it.
Unless it's a brown sign. A brown sign means it's not owned by the city, which you never see.
I've never seen one.
I'm on a hunt now for a brown street sign, so I can find an example.
So the point is that you cannot park. So here, even in King's Deer, you cannot park an RV in your driveway. You can build an outbuilding. It has to aesthetically look like the home. But if you park in the street, that HOA cannot fine you or tell you what to do. You can't not park in the street because they don't own the street. With that being said, if the RV sits there for more than 3 days, then it can be reported as an abandoned vehicle, or if it's a larger vehicle, it could be safe and obstruct views and driving and whatnot. So you can't really do it, but the issue is that even if we're driving through and I see that this person has an RV parked in the street, that can happen literally anywhere in the entire state.
I called code enforcement. It's a certain weight limit. And so I think it was 10,000 pounds or something like that. But because I was like, it came up with a commercial tow truck.
This is the house. It's amazing.
I know. So we're going to get out and show you some options. Not a certain
6-car garage.
Yeah, but not a certain house. We're going to show you I'm going to walk the streets and kind of show you general options of homes here in this hilltop area in King's Deer to see. So I'm excited to show you some of these options on land.
Out. This quick because it's cold out. So we are in the front part of King's Deer. These homes range from like $1 million all the way up to a couple $1 million. They are on 2.5 acre parcels, so you definitely get more land. We are, again, in the front section of King's Deer, which is more treed. And I think if Lori goes directly east over here, you can kind of see how a lot of the homes then go into like more of a clearing, and there's not many trees, although you're surrounded by the tree aesthetic. So taxes around here for a $1.4 million home, they are $4,600 annually. You do have an HOA. It is $600 annually, so $50 a month. Sorry, quick math. But you definitely get larger homes out here. You can have some ranch style homes, some newer homes, or a lot of the homes are also from late 90s, early 2000s. Those in the clearing, they must have developed that a little bit earlier. And so sometimes they will need some updating done to them, but semi-custom built homes, again, larger square footages, really kind of a cool setting in this front section. If you don't love the trees and you want more that sunny open space, you can go to the older part in the clearing, but you live on a golf course up here in King's Deer.
So that's an option for two if you want a little more acreage. If you want some more garage space, if you want a lot of a ranch house style houses, if you want a golf course community, although Woodmoor does have a golf course as well. So we're on our way to Woodmoor.
Well, and let's talk about, I think a lot of people like Monument for a couple of reasons. I think they like the smaller town feel. It's definitely like, you're in Colorado, but I also think logistically it's so close to I-25.
Yeah.
If you need convenient access to like Denver International Airport heading north, easy access to even go south on I-25 to Air Force Academy, like you aren't so far back into an area that it takes, I guess some areas would probably take 10 to 15 minutes to get out to I-25, but pretty easy access to really go north or south on highways.
Right. And if you watch our school video, you'll see that Lewis Palmer, we just did a whole video on schools and ratings throughout all of Colorado Springs, just so you guys can get a feel for that. But Lewis Palmer has great school ratings. We looked at like niche.com, we looked at the CDE, which is the Colorado Department of Education, greatschools.com, just to get a feel. Ratings are ratings, right? It's like everyone has their opinion, and sometimes the people with a negative opinion are louder than people with the actual opinion, but it does give you, especially CDE, when you look at like some test scores, it gives you an idea. And generally, the schools in this area have a great reputation, I would say. So,
yep.
We are now on the way to Woodmoor. Woodmoor is an older area, definitely has an HOA. We're actually going to the street in Woodmoor. We had a client by a couple of years ago. They're actually in the UK now, so
yep.
I think. But a lot of our clients, if you know you want Woodmoor, you know you want Woodmoor, because every home's unique. It's a different setting. You're more in the trees, but like I said, it's not like your typical cookie cutter neighborhood. Homes here are older. I think, like the area we're going to, I'm trying to see, built in 1972. So that's older than any homes that we've shown.
I was going to say 70s, 80s.
Oh, yeah, see?
Maybe some in the 90s, but 70s, 80s.
Mm-hmm. So you'll have unique lots. You'll have, treed. You have rolling hills. I remember one time someone reached out to us.
They have a clubhouse here in Woodmoor, too.
They do, and it's on that golf course. Like, I know the client I'm talking about, they would like go cross country skiing on the golf course in the winter. Like, and there's a tennis racquetball court within that country club. And
I would say my take on it, and our lender actually lives up here, and they belong to the club stuff. It's kind of like a good old boys, like locals, or a lot of people that have lived here before, and then they come back and they're like, nope, we definitely want to live in Woodmoor because they want to belong to this club. And it's not like prestigious, I guess. It's more like amenities, social, golf, but not real like.
It's not like Flying Horse.
I'd
say more
top
low
color.
key.
Yeah, it's low key. Good old boys.
Why do you keep saying good old boys?
I don't know. That's just.
I feel like I'm going to be part of the good old boys.
Well, listen.
You better explain
this
yourself.
is why.
Okay.
So we have a lot of, and I'm generalizing this statement. The people that we sold the house for, their exact words to me were, when we were here, they went to the Air Force Academy. All my friends who bought, since they've been here, have always, they bought up in Woodmoor, and all my friends use that club and they golf up here. Mm-hmm. So it's like almost like a tight-knit community, like a good old boys club. Like they all kind of know each other, and they would sacrifice maybe the house to be in the area with their friends. Like it's a pretty tight-knit community. And even when our lender,
it's a golf cart.
His wife, I've talked to her. Yeah, this is actually a green. It's so pretty. But like she knows everybody by name. Like I feel like even in Flying
she's
Horse,
part of the good old ladies club.
Good old ladies club. Like if I go to Flying Horse I went one time with my kid's friend's mom, and there's people you would see that you really don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows everybody around here.
Yeah.
So that's why I said that.
That's why you said it. Okay, it makes sense. I
So
gotcha. That's one of our. Oh, look, they have like a little ropes course. So you do have a little bit more. Obviously, lot sizes look larger here as well. So we are.
And here's our destination.
So and then here's the golf course where.
Cross country. There's somebody skiing.
Yep. Oh. Yep.
I'm speeding up to show you.
Speeding in the neighborhood just to show you guys. But yeah, see, we don't make things up very often. Sometimes.
Oh, look at this right ahead, guys.
I don't even know if they can see it from there, but I'm going to show you. See, there he is. I'm trying to see if he's going back, but I think he's going to go behind that hill.
Going laps.
Yeah.
Doing laps.
Is he doing laps right there?
Yeah, that's nice. So homes in this area typically are, 70s, 80s. The lifestyle is a key factor when you're seeking out. Look, there's a deer right down the road as well. Our dear friends. So homes around here, I would say some are a little bit on the smaller side, but typically 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. Your HOA dues are only $283 annually, and taxes around here are under about $3,000 for homes around $850,000. But this area, and I know we have some footage, check out our other videos, but when you see this in the summertime, there's actually a lot of green space as well because of the golf course. And I would say homes are more like naturally landscaped. You will have like some landscaping, but it's very Colorado-esque, like pine trees, aspen trees, wildflowers, maybe some retaining walls, but it's definitely Colorado feel setting.
And I would say very quiet too. Like if we're just quiet, which we're not very quiet, but
True.
You can hear like the birds chirping. It's just a very natural setting here in Woodmoor. So that was our full vlog tour of Monument. I hope you got to see some different areas. So when our clients reach out to us, we really kind of talk you through what it is that you're looking for, that lifestyle, because it really does make a difference on the areas we zone into in Monument, I would say. So great area though, for a lot of different reasons, as you can see.
Some of the facts we found out though were how rapidly
7 point.
It's growing.
What's the number?
I don't know.
7.29.
7.29%. And that housing is, in general, a little bit more expensive than even the Colorado Springs area, especially if we're looking at median house points. Median. Yeah, it was median house range. You can get neighborhood homes, you can get homes on land, you can get older homes, and you can get newer homes. So quite the assortment.
You can get it all here in
Monument.
So if you're thinking of moving here, we absolutely love what we do. We do it daily. We're actually on our way to show some clients that reached out some homes here in the area. So we absolutely love it. 5-star Google reviews. We help families all the time, so we're really good at those logistics.
We have a big green box promotion.
We do. So starting in 2024, so this year, when you at close, you can choose from 86-inch LG TV,
6 luxury gifts. We give you the option.
You get an option. You get to open the big green box. So make sure you reach out to us. We'll talk to you guys next time. We're out from Colorado.